Mary Bell Nyman of the Psychic Horizon Center in Boulder, Colorado. And we're going to start class like we do every week. We're going to ground. Thank God for grounding. Start by just taking a couple of deep breaths, and you can let your eyes close if that's comfortable for you. And just settle back in your chair. And as you turn your attention inward, again, taking another deep breath or two. Letting yourself know that you are going to be turning your attention inward and turning off the world around you. And when you breathe deep, it lets the body know, turn off the world, check in. And so just take a minute to separate from your day. Whatever happened today, just let it go. You can pull your energy back just by putting a little attention on whatever you've done, calling back to you. It'll come out of laundry, driving, cooking, whatever you've been doing today. Just back to you. And then putting that attention on your grounding cord that goes from the very base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth and is connected. And it allows the body to just let go of anything that isn't yours. It's a pretty remarkable system. So if you still have some family energy or friend energy from the holidays, as you take that deep breath, it just lets it be released down your grounding cord. And it goes back to whoever it belongs to, giving them a little healing. Excellent. And as a spirit, the immortal part of you, you start to get more deeply connected inside the body as the body grounds. So it increases your awareness quite a bit and lets you start to focus on what you want, what you need, versus having any shoulds or wants. And just breathing. And as you get quiet and you take your attention inward, this is where you connect to source. It's never outside of you, it's always inside. And just notice, we've been working for 4 weeks or 3 weeks on self-love. And just kind of look at that space for yourself as we begin tonight. Notice if there's been a little bit more space to take care of you this month. To maybe feel some of your feelings. To be able to transmute some of the challenges in your life. And especially to be able to forgive yourself for anything you've been holding on to. To me, this is one of the biggest lessons for us in life, is letting go of things that we've held on to. And everything in life kind of triggers that. When you can forgive yourself, you can forgive anyone. Sometimes it takes a little while. It might take a couple of months if you have a blowout with someone or a disagreement. It doesn't all happen at once. It kind of happens in stages. Same with ourselves. We're so tough on ourselves. It's like, can you just take a deep breath and be okay with where you are? So notice, is there anything you're still beating yourself up about? And decide that maybe tonight's the night you choose to let go of some of that. Hey, that's what a lifetime's for. We're supposed to make mistakes and learn. And we give kids plenty of permission to do that, but it seems like we get a little bit tougher on ourselves as we get older. So, hey, it's a great night. You got plenty of time. Just start to let anything you've been holding on to go down that grounding cord. What the heck? You might just feel better. And in that same vein, can you release any blame? Any blame you're holding against you or someone else? It doesn't matter what it is. Just breathe and decide you're going to let it go. This is part of the process that someone goes through on their deathbed. Is they begin to let go, especially as a soul, anything they've been holding on to. And the magic is learning to do this way before you get ready to die. Because then you just have, it's more clear sailing. It's easier to let go. So you're practicing. And then when you get to the other side, you already know how to let go. So you can let go of anything as a spirit. Here we call it blowing roses or putting things in a bubble and popping it. It's just separating from anything that we've been holding on to. So the magic is being able to do this way before you die, clearing that field, and making room inside yourself for what it is you still want to discover. Even if you're in your 70s or 80s, you still got some time. So, hey, why not make some room to have a little bit of fun? Go out with a kick or a bang, whatever, but enjoy really being here, really living. And kind of go inside for a minute and close your eyes and look at, just like from this class, this 4th week, is there anything you can find that you've been holding on to, that you've had a hard time letting go of? Any particular area? Anything that's been a challenge for you in your life? We all do life differently. And just in the next, couple of weeks, keep playing with it. Like I said, it takes time to really release something all the way, but give yourself room to make it drain out the energy that makes it feel bigger than you. And in a way, when I talk about draining out energy, I kind of visualize it as a bubble. And I put a little grounding cord on that bubble that's separate from myself. And I just let any energy that isn't mine or any negative energy start to be released down that grounding cord. Whether that's another person's energy or a situation's energy, something that happens at work, wherever you have been challenged. And just choosing again. It's like, well, that was an interesting choice, but not really one I'm in agreement to. So releasing that energy and deciding you're going to try again. What color do you want it to be? Bubble. How would you like to envision it? Do you want more humor, more neutrality? I always try and visualize things in a win-win situation, especially if it's with a person. So being able to find that space, both parties feel like they're to move through that space. Creating that win-win energy. And then as you get grounded, let's start to do a little clean out. We're going to work with that first chakra right at the very base of the spine, where your bottom meets your chair. That's the first chakra. So, out in that chakra, it takes care of all of our survival needs, anything we need to take care of our bodies. So, just ask that anything that makes it hard for you to get your survival needs met, to have enough food, enough money, enough time, just releasing any energy that creates effort. And let that go down the grounding cord out of that first chakra. And then asking, how would you like to set the energy in that first chakra? It might be deciding that life moves easily and you move with it. You're in that flow and just envisioning that. Whether that's a color or a feeling for you. And just know that you'll be taken care of. You're coming in harmony. And then we're going to move up to the second chakra, 2 fingers below the navel. These are all your emotions, all the feelings. We go through so many different emotions during a day. A song will come on the radio and you're either laughing or crying or, whatever it is, but we're responding emotionally all the time. As a clairvoyant, when energy comes to us, it comes to the sixth chakra and we see it in mental images. But that mental image is also mathematical and it gets translated in the crown and the sixth chakra into emotions. And that's how the body responds, is through emotion. So say hello to that little second chakra and just see, what's your go to emotion? What color is it? And if you don't know, just ask yourself. And decide, is that how you'd like to have it set? Anything that isn't yours, you can just release down that grounding cord. Taking a deep breath, and especially any emotions that aren't yours, just let them be grounded out. Sometimes you'll find your body like in fear, and you go, but mentally, I don't feel fearful. So I like to put up a little gauge, like a thermometer, and ask myself, how much fear is in my space? And maybe it's 70%. You go, wow, that's a lot of fear. Okay, how much of that is actually mine? And it might be 10%. You go, oh, 10% is pretty easy to handle. But the 60% that isn't yours makes it feel overwhelming. So you ground out that percent that isn't yours, in this case, 60%. And it's like, oh, okay, my own 10% is really easy to deal with. So when an emotion feels overwhelming to you, it's a great idea to stop before trying to heal it or fix it and just even see, is it even yours? So grounding out anyone else's emotions and then putting your color in there in that second chakra. How would you like to respond to life? Maybe your go to emotion is curiosity. Instead of finding things critical, you might get curious. Oh, what can I learn from this situation? Makes it a little bit more interesting. Then we'll come up to that third chakra, the solar plexus. This is kind of going with the flow. How are you at hanging with the flow of life? You could say it's your power, your chi. And again, just choosing to clean out anything that puts effort in your life. You have a choice. This is your life. You get to create it the way you want it. And the only time we feel like a victim or victimized is when we're not in our bodies as a soul. So that's a really great place to look. Just seeing any energy that gets between you and the body. And just, again, release it down the grounding cord. Great night to get rid of it. And breathe and put a color in that third chakra that would feel good to you, that would allow you to really experience and have your life. And then we're going to come up to the heart chakra, the fourth chakra. And this is where spirit and body come together. This heart chakra is usually turned inward for yourself so that you can attract things from the world to you. When it gets turned the other way, then everything goes out to everyone else. And that's great. Most of us as healers are tremendous givers. Sometimes that can be exhausting. So being able to play with that fourth chakra and tune it to you. It's kind of like the airlines say, fill your own self up first, take care of you first, and then share the rest of it. So look at your fourth chakra and tune it for you. When you get tired and you start to resent giving, that's a great hint that your energy and your ability to give to yourself has run dry and you got to re-up that body. Got to give to you first because then there's no resentment. It's always fun to give away the extra. So take a minute and clean out that heart chakra, resetting it. Give that body an I love you. And just find a color that validates you loving you. See what that would be. What color would help you feel supported and self-loved? Anchor it in that fourth chakra. And then let's go up to the fifth chakra, the throat. This is where you communicate your truth. In a reading, you say what you see. And this is also a tremendous seat of creativity. Many people get bogged down in the fifth chakra by responsibility. But if you can put it in the right perspective, it's the ability to respond. And how you respond is up to you. So decide, how do you want to respond to life? Do you get enthused? Is it fun for you to create? Does it feel like there's some effort there? And just cleaning that out. Again, it's a great night tonight. Give it a whirl, just releasing anything that doesn't work for you. Give yourself that ability to express your truth and letting go of anything that makes it hard for you to say what your truth is. We don't always grow up having permission to do that, to express ourselves, but again, you can change this. So, taking a deep breath and letting go. Pick a color that would help you communicate how you express yourself. And now look so far at the body. We've come all the way from the spine, all the way up to the throat. We have two chakras left to go. Just notice how from the throat down, does that feel lighter? Can you feel the difference in your body as you work chakra by chakra? Now we're going to put our attention between the brows in the sixth chakra, your ability to see clairvoyantly, which is what you're doing, because when you close your eyes and you start to look, everything you see is on a clairvoyant level. So cleaning out any effort in seeing. People think it's hard to be clairvoyant, but it's not. And just imagine with your eyes closed, a tiger that walks across your screen, and your screen's about an arm's length away in front of your face. And just see a tiger walk across that screen. Maybe have a rabbit hop back. You're just playing with images. See if you can visualize a beach with palm trees and the wind blowing the palm trees, waves on the ocean. And you can let that image disappear. And imagine two cats playing with a ball. And just notice for yourself, what color are the cats? And what color is the ball? Not hard. Let that disappear. And you're just making space for your clairvoyant abilities. It's how a spirit communicates with its body. It's as natural as can be. So again, let go of any effort and just increase your ability to see. And breathe. And then let's go to the very top of the head, the crown chakra. This is your truth. When you first start as a spirit, you don't have a crown. You build it through all your life experience. So many of you have been around for so many lifetimes and you've accrued all this information, and it's at the very top of the head. So you as a spirit pick up information. Look at how much you've learned just this lifetime. Relating with people, technology, work experience, life experience, whether you've married or had children. Look at all the information you've accrued this lifetime. Almost feels like we've had 2 or 3 lives in this lifetime. We're not the same people we were in our 20s, unless you are 20. Then you're still probably yourself. But look at all that data and validate your truth. It's your awareness and your perspective. And never compromise that for someone else. That's your truth. Own it, give it a color. And then you can imagine taking like a tuning fork and touching it to the crown and allowing all the other chakras to match so that they're all set at your truth. Excellent. Then you can create a huge gold sun above your head, twice as big as the body, and fill it with your own color, your own validation, self love, really enjoying this lifetime. Giving yourself permission, and pop that gold sun and let it flow in and fill you from head to toe. Excellent. And take a deep breath. And I'll have you look at 2 things. What would you most like to create next in your life? There are so many choices out there. What is it you want next? And what are you willing to let go of in order to have that? If you've always had a hard time with money, you might have to be willing to let go of the idea of poverty in order to allow yourself to have money. If it's feeling like you're not appreciated, you might have to let go of that in order to really let your light shine and let yourself be seen. So just getting curious, what are you willing to trade for that which you want? That's going to be a great one to keep playing with. And then when I end a class like this was actually designed as a 12-week class, so we've really condensed it. I always look at a list for what to do to help yourself, kind of like a first aid kit for self-love. Say you have a day when you just can't love yourself, you're having a hard time. The first thing you want to do is really keep your focus, staying on your path. And to me, one of the first or easiest ways is to ground. to really just stop and come back to the body, letting go of any self trashing, any energy that says you're not enough. That is a lie. You're more than enough. So, the first thing to do if you find yourself trashing yourself is ground. And again, put up that gauge. Hey, whose energy is that? Let's ground it out and reset it. Just finding you. And sometimes, we get lost. We all do. And if you have a really trusted friend, you can bounce ideas off of them. Not somebody who's a yes person, but somebody who's really honest with you. Those are the best friends. But mostly, I like to get out in nature and just ask myself. I truly believe we have the answers inside us. You just have to get quiet enough to listen. So, creating that space, creating that peace inside. And sometimes the answer doesn't come right away, but it's like, okay, I'm just going to make room for my answer. And then see over the next day or two what direction you get pushed in or pulled in. Something always happens. It's amazing. Sometimes you'll get an idea out of nowhere. Bam. And it's just the right idea. There are spirit around us all the time helping us. So all you have to do is make room for it and let it come. Another time is if you're really having a hard time, write down all the negative things going through your mind. I can't do this, but, because, or but. Yeah, but. I would do that, but I don't have time. I don't have space, whatever it is. And then one by one, take those negatives and see if you can't flip them, if you can't turn them around. Because an interesting thing is happening as time quickens on Earth, as you start to be in a higher vibration, your cells start to match your body and it raises the frequency in your body. Things move so much faster than they used to. Release all blame, all disapproval that comes into your mind from relationships or life. We're just a mirror. And kind of get curious again. Why did I attract that situation? I had to laugh. My stepmother is in a nursing home, and she always complains she doesn't get enough attention. So on Christmas, all the phones, the whole phone system in the whole nursing home went down. And she had her cell phone on vibrate. So all of her kids were calling her. Nobody could get through. It was really kind of funny. So finally, about 7 o'clock, somebody got through to her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm calling you." And we were all laughing. It's like, I must have tried her at least 10 times. So it's interesting how things happen. And part of that could be a mirror of where you just start to look at and say, oh, where am I not saying hello to myself? Where am I depending on that hello from everybody else? So looking at any situation you're in and get creative with it. It's like, what is this here to teach me about? This is fascinating. Whether you're learning about abandonment or, uh, self-doubt or sabotage, whatever it is, get curious, use it. Like, okay, as a soul, why would I create this situation? What am I trying to figure out? Where does it come from? So you get to be a little bit of a detective in there. And then remember that by loving yourself, you bring light to everything that is around you. So you can start to change a whole pattern. Even if you've had a certain kind of communication your whole life, it doesn't mean you have to stay in that same pattern. It's like, okay, that was interesting for 50 years. I think I'm done. Let's try something different. And as you change, everything around you starts to change. So I don't remember who said, be the change you want to see. Probably Gandhi or one of those wise ones. But yeah, start with yourself. Then it starts to ripple out and it gives everyone around you permission to change as well. Another one is, I love this one. When you get upset, you're never upset for the reason you think you are. And find the truth. Be willing to dig for it. Um, John Gray wrote a book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And one of the great points in there is he taught people how to fight fair. So this is a classic. When he has someone look at their anger, it's like, okay, what does that trigger in you? And it might trigger, it's usually all the way back to childhood. You know, when you don't listen to my opinion, it makes me feel unheard. And it's like, and that reminds me of, and then he'd have you find, where did you feel unheard growing up? And it was like, I was just dismissed. Nobody, you know, as a kid, nobody listened to my opinion, whatever it is. But that's what the real truth is. It's not what happens or gets triggered in your day to day work, but it's underneath. What does it tap into? So it's really interesting. Again, get curious. Why does something make you angry? What is that basic concept underneath it? And this is all put in there in childhood and the teen years. As you start to get in command of that or in being able to handle what's underneath, then that's what you start to heal. And then you stop drawing that mirroring effect. You stop drawing that same card over and over again. So take a deep breath. And remember, we all get stuck. We all go through big changes. That's part of why you're here in a body. And so, not taking it quite so seriously. And then we're going to do one more little exercise before we call it a night. Take a deep breath, and about 1.5 to 2 feet above your head is a gold white light, and just know it's there. And just say hello to it, like with your mind, vibrate it. And let that gold white light flow down, all the way down through the top of your head, all the way down to your heart. And as that gold white light comes all the way down through your body to your heart, let it fill your heart. And then expand all the way out into your aura, filling that whole bubble inside. Just getting quiet, eyes closed, just radiating that vibration and giving yourself the thought, I am enough. I can choose what I need, and there is always help. Just giving your body that message that you're safe in the world, that you're loved, you matter, And that concept of spirit is always there for you. And just letting that vibration fill you up. Let it fill all those places we healed today and the chakras. Let it fill any place you've ever felt empty or alone. Let it fill you with that level of peace where you're okay just being you, that being you is more than enough. And again, giving that body a hello. I love you, body. And letting your DNA, just say hello to your DNA. There's 12 strands. And just imagine, just like you'd strum a guitar, just strumming those 12 strands, just giving them permission to be activated. And bringing your spirit and that body in harmony. Letting that DNA know that it can raise its vibration up to where you are as a spirit. And then taking just a minute and looking out into the future. Just from this moment forward, what do you want for the rest of this life? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to feel at peace? What are you choosing? And just imagine clearing the way so that you can have that in your life, making room for it. It's kind of like cleaning out all the things that you no longer need and making room for everything you want. Hey, we're getting ready to start a new year. There's a tremendous expansion. And this is a great time to start to really live. Really looking at you. This is it. Here's your life. This is the lifetime you wanted to be conscious and aware. So, what do you want? You don't have to bring it all in today. You've got your whole life. But here's a great start tonight. Okay, you can let that gold white light stop and bring in a color that you'd like to have for the rest of the night. What would be soothing for your body? Then you can stand up and stretch, wiggle that body, come back to yourself.